I have pressed the boot. The boot is pressed. I technically haven't given a title to this episode, but it is the title you said, Joseph.
Are you recording your own voice?
I hope so.
Good.
I'm on the wrong preview. This is the Wednesday preview. That's easy to fix. Yay! And this one's fucked up.
Who does remember what happened last time? It was a while ago.
I think that was just us finishing off that anti-magic zombies that was actually the moon plotline.
And then
And
being like,
then-
to the
and then it-
wedding.
Yeah, and then it was like, oh hey, their wedding is in like 2 days. Let's just go and do that.
Yeah. So you all have arrived at this plane of existence where your wedding is going to occur, Fume. What would you like to start doing?
Well,
You also notice that the entire city is covered in decorations and notices of like there's big events happening. There's lots of like people are preparing food. It's like a festival of sorts.
I'm gonna try and keep a low profile until we like get to the main area.
Okay, roll me
Because
a
I'm
D100
D1.
and give me a stealth roll as well.
Can Colt give Fume the bear cloak as like disguise?
Sure, you
Why is
can have
this-
like a
this
stealth roll.
smells like
advantage
eggs?
or something.
You can have a stealth roll with advantage, Fume. Try.
Thank you.
Could have just
Mm.
cast
You
invisible.
walk along the street, and immediately a bunch of people are like, "Oh my God, you're here!" And then a bunch of people start like gushing over you.
And
A
then
lot
then
more.
I point at Fume and she vanishes. Invisibility. I know that it's a touch spell, but flavor.
Sure. Sonia suddenly makes you disappear. There's a bunch of people who come out of their houses a bit confused, holding gifts and presents and stuff and food.
I hit myself to reappear because there are gifts.
No, I
Yeah,
don't
I
want to
like-
be seen. Presents.
I guess I'll take the cloak back then.
Oh, there you are. And a bunch of them start rushing to you, and they start handing you like a bunch of gifts.
I'm like very thankful for gifts. I tried to be put on a radiant smile and be the magnanimous sort of person that I can be.
In between here and like the palace, you receive about 5,000 gold's worth of like miscellaneous gifts.
Adding 5,000 gold worth of gifts to my inventory. I'll just store that in the ring.
Yeah. Your ring bedroom is like filled with all of these like fancy art pieces or sculptures or the occasional like common
Hello.
magic item.
Hello. When we get to the sort of the area that would be quieter with less civilians around, I want to chat to the group, including Fireball, once we've got him. That's okay.
Sure. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if Sonya's gone to get him yet or not.
Yeah, I would have went to get him yesterday, just in case there was
Okay.
any delays.
Also, like, there's a live feed that you can see when you're walking past certain shops, or like people have on their phones of like major news events and stuff, and it's like, oh my God, so and so's arriving for the big wedding, and so
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get us out of like camera situation
I love the
if we're
idea,
being covered.
like, Sonia sees the broadcast, like, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah, accompanied by a god of sex. Like, that's not what it is! Stop saying that!
recently they were involved in a weird, perverted scandal on this planet. Ugh, creeps.
Which became Orgy Planet number 4. Don't ask about 1, 2, or 3.
We don't speak of 1, 2, or 3.
While we're aware of them, we do not associate with them.
But yeah, Fume's gonna try and take everybody.
Number 4, be like, look at me, brother.
Fume's gonna try and take everybody like into a place where we can all be a bit quieter for a second.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean
and
there aren't many places, but you could duck into your ring, or you could go to the ship. That is like sort of the most
the
peaceful
easiest
place.
thing is just to duck into the ring, right? Let's just go
Yeah.
into this location that's full of presents.
It's like we're all packed in because there's so many presents.
There are a lot of presents, and a lot of them are like some of them are like appliances and stuff. It's
Oh, fume! Someone got you
I,
an infernal toaster.
Oh man, I love
I,
Infernal Toast.
They never burn.
Fume,
Weirdly
Fume.
enough.
Here's another present for you.
Oh, thank
Fireball
you.
holds a large staff of fireballs.
You didn't have to do this. Your present's more than enough.
Yeah, well,
I will reluctantly take the gift because you just say nice things about not taking gifts and then you take them because it'd be really a shame not to take gifts that you're offered.
oh yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
You
and
put it. So,
what if we
someone
give-
got you like a stat, like a little like thing that holds a bunch of staffs. It's a little metal pole where you
it
put magical staffs next to it, and then it starts to orbit it slowly.
it's oh, so it's like one of those guitar holder things, but like cool and magical.
Yeah,
I will add it to that as like the first staff added to the pile.
it begins orbiting the pole.
That looks so cool.
Oh, well,
Uh,
if we're giving the gifts now, gotta give you mine, few.
Actually, although like because it's so crammed in, it occasionally like dinks off something else in the room because of the orbit.
oh, cool. Before gifts, I just want to say something to you all.
You're not breaking up, are you?
I mean, yeah, once I've got all the gifts right, no, obviously not. I just want to thank all of you. Like, Colt, Fireball, Sonia, and Sonia. And Bread Sonia, sorry, I forgot about you.
But mainly Sonia.
Is
But
bread.
but mainly
500
that
years,
Sonia.
Sonia.
Bread's ungrateful.
For being the first people that I've met in my life of I don't know how long because I've been trapped in a ring for lots of it to actually give me a chance and not just like abandon me or die or trap me in a ring. Like those are the three things that people usually did when I met them. And I know I'm a bit chaotic at times, and sometimes my desire to just burn things is a problem. I like motion to fireball for them, not for us.
Wait. You like burning things?
It is the major thing we connected on.
That's an issue?
For some people. And I just wanted to
God, how is like burning things is just a greeting in the plane of fire, right?
yeah. Fireball, thank you for being the first positive fire-based role model I've ever had.
Thank you. Thank you for
Not eating you? Yeah, you're welcome.
that.
Fume asks Fireball if he would be willing to be the one that walks down the aisle with her to give her away, because as the person who technically freed her from her slavery and her father.
Sure.
And then turns to Hope and is like, "Thank you for being a rock and a good example of what morals should be, even when I sometimes went incredibly evil for sometimes because of eating things that I shouldn't eat,
There are a
namely
lot
evil
of
elementals."
to be fair.
You will. And anytime, it's been a great pleasure getting to know you and seeing you bloom into the great, powerful, and independent genie that you are today.
And
It's been a joy being on this journey with you.
thank you, Sonia, for being like the best friend I've ever had, and putting up with several hundred years of me.
Yes, to several hundred years more.
Yeah.
Maybe not trapped in a single space, though.
Yeah, we probably need to like separate for a while and then like talk about things. It's like, you know, being stuck in the same place as everyone breeds a little bit of contempt, but I go over that. And thank you, other Sanyas, for existing. I
We
have less of a connection to the rest of you.
we do that.
All the Council of Steves in your head is like, oh, bravo, that was amazing.
Thank you, Steves, for counselling me on what to do and keeping the evil presence trapped.
Kill them all.
Furthermore, but I also thought it was a lovely speech.
And Fume will come in for a hug on everybody.
Oh.
Big
Yeah.
hug.
And then we'll teleport us back out of the ring.
More present people over here.
Okay, be back in a minute.
I was just going
I-
to say, Colt has his in his hands.
You are like roughly at the temple now. I mean, you could probably wander around town to just get more gifts.
I don't want to put off going to see what's the temple looks like.
Okie dokie.
This is the like Fume is nervous enough that like if she puts it off, she's like worried that she won't like be able to bring herself to just get there. And she's like, if I beeline it first, that I like pull the band-aid off of seeing it.
You want to wait for the big moment.
That's such a Sonia thing to say. Sonia puts her hand on Fume's shoulder, and don't worry, whatever shit inevitably happens at the wedding, because it's us, we've got your back.
Yeah.
That's some of the sweetest things anyone has ever said to me.
What? Nothing bad will happen at the wedding.
Yeah, but if it does...
I mean, I was 100% assuming the wedding was going to go perfectly fine.
Yep.
See?
When do you want the rest of your gifts, Fume?
I think you're meant to give wedding gifts at the wedding,
You make
especially
it,
if you're invited.
you make it to the wedding, and this is the venue of the actual wedding itself. You see this ball of fire just sort of swirling around in the middle.
It's so beautiful.
It's
Like you just see like
pretty cool.
steaming tears down Fume's face. Crying boiling water is sometimes painful. The only reason Fume can cry at all is because she also has the ice ring. Whew. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, the DM's muted currently.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Lawrence was asking me about tomorrow and football and things that
Ah,
are less relevant than this.
Things that don't matter.
So yeah,
football.
this is the temple.
Nice temple.
You do notice that the lava is very hot, and you think would burn a lot of the guests.
Should they
Fume will
go
go and
for a
stand in
dive?
the lava.
Oh, it's quite nice. There's also a table of like what they sort of look like red mints as you come in on a
Mm-hmm.
pedestal. But it's just very nice when you're standing in the lava. It's almost soothing.
Puts a hat. Sonia just dips her hand in the lava.
Sonia,
Is it hot?
it's hot. You burn your hand.
Pulls out hand, just skeleton hand, like, well, it is hot. Regenerate.
Yeah. Looking over at the plate of mints, it says
But yeah,
it has a little sign that
once we're
says,
here,
it has a little sign that says "Take one."
I wonder what they could be for.
Mm.
But I wanted to at least dip my hand first.
I assume there is somebody who will be telling me where I have to go and what I have to do and where the like stuff is ready for.
This is true because in a moment I can find it.
I
Right,
mean,
look.
horrifyingly, that sounds like my job.
Yeah, that is true technically. This
Uh,
today I mean, if there's any day to have a hint, because like you're technically free because the wedding's not not for 2 days. So you do have a night where you're sort of free.
Mm-hmm.
So
So what's the idea then?
uh it's up to you guys of what you want to do in
I
the
wasn't
city.
asking you. I was asking the person who's the maid of honor.
Yeah, Sonia, what do you want to do?
I mean, Joseph, are there any things preparation wise that still need doing?
Not really. Like everything is seemingly ready. It's pretty useful when like the person you're marrying can basically alter reality in this place. So things get done quite quickly.
Okay, so Fume, you've got a couple of options.
Uh huh.
First option is you're free to go hide and like relax. Second option, uh, it's generally a weird one because since you're both female, there's no bride or groom, so there's the whole weird traditions and shit. But generally, you'll often see someone like greeting people as they come in, so we could do that, like thanking the guests for coming and stuff.
But the guests won't be coming into the actual event for a day until tomorrow, right?
Wait, it's not tomorrow?
Not yet. I mean, it's relatively late in the day.
The comment says, "Are we doing a hen do or something like that?"
Ah,
Like, do you want to go out and do a hen do?
oh god.
Like on the night before the wedding. I'm
Hmm.
on the if you've it. This is the if it's going to happen, it will be something that Sonia will have decided to do to surprise. But if they didn't, then we will just cut to actually having sleep before the day of the wedding.
Well, I've been too busy like helping with planning things, but I could think of something. Where's a good place to go?
You
We
quickly
could.
start googling like
No, it's like
interesting things here.
we could visit the dimension that everyone is. Bethany. Might take me half an hour to figure out which one it is, but there's that.
For a second there, I thought you were gonna go like, "Oh, I'll use that ability to go visit the nightmare dimension."
No, no. I mean, we could, but
That doesn't seem like a great.
uh, we could visit the plane of alcohol.
Alcohol's usually made out of liquid, right?
I
Flammable
It
liquid.
is liquid, but it's also flammable usually.
Sonia, roll me a history check.
l'histoire. Oh
And
yeah,
technically,
I forgot about my proficient in
1
everything.
second.
Shouldn't be advantage, but
I mean, there's like 50 Sonias there, so they can help you.
true.
Yeah, you will remember seeing. They had like alcohol, but it was different. Like it was unusual alcohol, and it was a little bit on fire. You saw this while you were just walking here. Like several vendors were selling it and stuff.
Alright, let's go get a drink, and we can think of which dimension will be the most fun to visit.
Sure.
Okay.
Now,
Here's a question out of character. Has
Mhm.
Colt ever drank?
Yeah, I used to until they stopped working on me. Like,
until
just little bits at special events like this, but it doesn't really work anymore. So now it's just liquid that just tastes cruddy. So the kind of puts a downer on the revels. So I just drink whatever tastes nice at these sort of things. But yes, I do know what it is to get drunk.
I don't.
This is gonna be fun.
You oh good, that means you've missed out on the mornings after.
Yeah, you know, like drinking just wasn't a thing when you work as a slave for adventuring parties, then they all die over and over again.
Those adventuring parties sound like they suck.
Yeah.
Hey, Joseph, how do you feel about this?
Uh-huh.
As a really stupid idea. Sonia wishes for the ambrosia of the gods, from the like actual alcohol from the god of revelries, and then everyone wakes up the next morning, and at some point that like it could be a whole episode of what actually happened during that knockout.
Sure. Do you wish for the best alcohol imaginable?
Yeah, one
Or
that'll work on anyone no matter what.
sure. Uh, Sonia, like before you appears a barrel of like some of the most enticing thing you've ever smelled. Like you really want to drink what's in there. It is maybe better than anything you've ever smelled.
Alright, let's get through this quickly before the god realizes it's gone.
Assuming you all have a drink of this incredibly delicious alcohol, uh, it tastes amazing. It is literally the best thing you've ever tasted in your life. It is
Mm-hmm.
truly wonderful. Uh, Everyone give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, they're great.
Court has a little bit. It's like, down is the best kind of alcohol I've ever had.
Solid 29, 25, and 21.
I was hoping for Court in that one, and for me to just go, I'm not undoing that.
I love the differences there of the plus 12, plus 12, plus 3. Sonia, not the most constitution built.
Fireball,
No.
are you having a drink? Lauren?
He's
So you
muted
are?
currently. Are
Uh,
you having an alcoholic drink?
Sonia has summoned very nice alcohol. Fireball wants some?
Best in existence.
Yes.
Cool. Con save from Fireball.
Okay, 1 second. Uh, con save. Oh, where's my character sheet? There we go.
Now, Joseph, because technically Earth exists, if I were to cast
12.
the gate spell, could I summon Rick Astley to the
I'll be
wedding?
back.
You can try.
Is Rick Astley a multi-spearable being?
Okay. Now I want you to hang on.
You want us to hang on, got it.
I want you to roll me a couple of dice, but I need to. I didn't expect to have to pull like this information up out of nowhere.
How dare
How
you
to-
not
what-
expect the unexpected?
Not
What,
expect you
what-
all to wish for like you wished for something that I was not prepared for, but I'm rolling
And
with
that-
it.
And now you have to pull up the how to start a night on the sesh in D&D.
Well, like none of you are gonna remember this.
Yeah, that's what I thought was a fun idea. Of
Yeah, and then
this could be an adventure later.
So I
You
need. I'm gonna determine what happens and then where you all wake up. And I need to pull up.
Ugh.
And I know I have tables for this. When I made all the cooking stuff at the start of this campaign, but I didn't expect to have to use them.
Just joking, but Colt wakes up next to 5 Sonyas and is like, well, that happened.
Whereas this Sonia wakes up next to Rick Astley. Who the hell are you?
Never gonna give you up.
I'm never gonna let you down. Never gonna turn around or desert you. Oh. Let's see here. Uh,
But
Here we
also,
go.
of all the relationships, it would be definitely funny to me, from what you said, James, for like,
Mm.
the only Sonya you didn't end up in bed with was the god of reproduction.
Yeah.
let's.
I mean, to quote, he's just like, I just treat all the Sonyas the same. But at the same time, it's just like, well, that was definitely strong alcohol.
I think.
I think.
Okay, I want all of you to roll me a D100.
Not because of the Sonya vote, but because I can't remember. Oh, one off, nice.
Oh, if
Ooh.
you'd got, you know what I would have
Damn
done
it.
if you'd gotten nice. I would have just said that the
What?
thing that you joked about happened.
I don't know.
Fine.
Could I give him a +1? Could I wish for a +1?
Oh, and then one from Fume as
Al-
well.
Also, do you really want that to be what happened? Because all of the Sonyas are so close to the god of reproduction, there's a good chance you might have got all of them pregnant.
Oh, and
Is that
Fume
what
got
you want?
Hey, Court's a responsible lad. And we're both powerful adventurers.
I'm sure you'd take care of them.
Exactly.
Well,
He's
you'd
gonna
abandon them to go on your adventure.
No, he will teach them how to fight. is what he'll
Oh
do.
God.
okay, so come on, Joseph. That sounds hilarious.
Domain expansion, give me a +1.
Oh, that sounds so bad. It's like that's your sex move. I use domain expansion.
Okay.
Silver's like, what the fuck are you using me for this for?
You're all getting in on this.
Ugh. That's the most abused an artifact has ever felt. Okay, Fume, give me a charisma roll.
Your straight charisma.
Make it persuasion. Sonia,
Fucking hell.
that is a low persuasion
It's
roll
a
for
2.
you.
I rolled a 2.
It's fine. The way that this table works, you still did amazingly. Just not mega amazingly. And Sonia, I want you to give me a like an athletics check with disadvantage.
Ooh. I'm actually good at those now. Not like good. I have a +6, but it's not a minus at least.
And Cole, I want you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Athletics. Fucking hell, that was actually pretty good.
Damn.
Can't save.
I mean, yeah, it's the fact you're proficient in everything now. And
Yeah, but
you're
I mean,
very
like,
high.
even with disadvantage, only a +6, that did pretty well for
I know, that
21,
was
22.
a great roll for you. Okay. Sure, Colt, you wake up in a bed surrounded by a bunch of Sonyas.
Well, that was a bit of a mad night. Just looking around. He does have a bit of a cocky smirk on him though, but yeah.
Also, you've got like a new scar on your leg, and you have no clue where that came from.
Also, weirdly, one of the Sunyas is the bread one.
Just funnily enough, my brain was just going, what if the bread one is there?
Just a loaf of bread by the side of the bed wearing a wizard hat.
And you're like, what? How?
How? Why? What? Not gonna question it. Hell, it's Sonya. She probably true polymorphed into a fucking owlbear or something. I don't know.
Sonia, you are currently in a tavern, passed out under a table, and like there's just some you are awoken by the sound of. Also, your head kind of hurts. And you're awoken by the sound of a video playing on loop.
Mm-hmm.
All of you actually don't have that bad of a headache
Except
when you
Sonya.
wake up. Oh yeah, except Sonya, but that's for different reasons. It's not because of the alcohol.
Yeah.
It's for other reasons. Oh yeah, I'll need to get Lawrence to roll me a D100 when he gets back.
May I inquire as to the looping video?
Ah yeah, sure. You go over and watch it. You see a video of yourself. You've just been like, it seems to be you headbutting people over and over again.
Uh-huh.
You also see a bunch of people who were in that video with like big lumps on their heads. You like the beginning of the video also details you being like, I bet I could take any of you in a headbutting contest.
And everyone's like, bring it.
Yeah,
Bring it,
And-
small girl. I am strong man. Head like brick.
and it does show you basically just headbutting everyone in the tavern until you were about like 20 people in, and then you just dropped. It was about 10 seconds after you won your last match. And then the video restarted.
Who was recording this? No one speaks up.
There is a guy. I mean, there's a guy holding the phone. He is currently unconscious, though. His breath smells of alcohol.
I like the idea his hand is just holding up the phone, but he is unconscious.
Oh,
And
Uh,
yet somehow also managed to screencast it to a screen for Sonya to watch.
oh.
Magic.
You would guess he fell asleep watching it.
Gotta learn from my mistakes so I don't lose technically next time.
Also, you're like all at random bits of the city. Oh.
What
and-
happened to me?
Yes, now we get to you. Uh, so, like, uh, you wake up and you're in an incredibly fancy bedroom. And actually, can you give me a D8 roll? Uh, okay. It's not like super clear to you in your memory, but you definitely remember something about a prophecy, and like, you might have like been the chosen one or something, but you can't really remember. And you're in a very fancy bedroom, and also, there is a high-ranking demon who like sort of you can sort of see him over like this sort of glass that's in the top of your door to this room, and they are knocking on the door.
What do you want?
They ask if they can come in.
Sure.
They
Sits
go,
up in bed.
oh, thank you so much for what you offered last night. It was wonderful.
Uh, can I remember what was offered?
Not even slightly.
Can you jog my memory? I'm just
Oh, well, you said you'd like fulfill the great prophecy that we were mentioning about. You're gonna go find the lost treasure and like get me out of this bind I'm in. Thanks so much.
um. I'm really sorry to say this.
See, you're even wearing the promise ring that you made. You can only take it off when you beat the quest.
I'm really sorry to say this, but I do not remember what the quest was that I agreed to. So if you could please just give me it in bullet points for me to read later, that would be very useful.
Oh, sure. He like claps his hands and then a magical scroll appears. And then he's
Thank
like,
you.
Here you go. This'll tell you everything. Also, don't you have to? Aren't you getting married today?
Yep. What time is it?
You look up and the sun is like moderately high in the sky.
The sun that has a clock on it.
I have 20 minutes to make it to my wedding. Fuck.
For reference, Fume, you are right about here. Roughly a 20-minute sprint from your wedding.
I teleport to my wedding.
Got it, got it. Sonia, you woke up like here. And Colt, you came to. You're actually like pretty close to the temple. You sort of wake up in this
That's me.
room with all the other Sonias.
Looks at the
It's
clock in the sky.
me.
Oh God!
Everyone starts.
Good thing I'm quick. Good thing I'm fast. You lot can fly. Yeah.
They're all still asleep.
Picks up the loaf of.
Bolt of lightning strikes Colt.
Oh yeah, only one of them's coming.
But bolt of lightning strikes Colt, and he's ready. He just gets dressed that quickly.
But yeah, I will. I have.
Yeah, you like.
I have
bolts out
wedding
of
dress to
bed, it's
change
fine.
into, so I will teleport to the location.
You teleport there, and a bunch of people just start like swarming you and grabbing you. Be like, okay, do your makeup quickly, get you like showered and ready.
Yep. Yep.
Just like, okay, we're just gonna use magic. We're gonna use magic to make this happen quickly. So that's all going on. All the Sonyas are being awoken by Colt. And Sonia, who headbutted a bunch of people in the tavern, also like wakes up. What does Sonia in the tavern do?
Looks at the clock and is like, oh God, shit. Rush, 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 rush. Yeah, easy enough. Just like grab. What will happen is the Sunyas will grab each other, and then they'll just like. Well, we don't have enough time for like showering and everything, so we're all just gonna jump into that lava and then get regenerated. It'll hurt, but it's quicker.
You like show up at the wedding venue. Hang on, I'll move us over to the actual wedding map now. Which reminds me, this Terry is out of date. We need to move over to other Terry.
Very important.
Look, proper Terry's got to be the center stage. As a bunch of Sonyas jump into lava, and then they go back and take a mint.
Okay, we're good. They realize after, oh yeah, we probably could have just took the mint and then jumped in, because then it would have cleaned us. Too late now.
Too late now. Immense suffering could have been avoided, but that's a very Sonya attitude. But yeah, then you enter the main room, and Terry is there. Look at all of Andrew's hard work.
I put so much work in. Oh God, the page needs moving. Andrew, get to work. Where'd the map go?
Man.
Is it still loading in?
No, I just mean like as in how covered it is.
Oh yeah, that's true. There is not a lot of map.
I remember there being a map at some point.
It is also a Where's Waldo of like just find that NPC. But yeah, Fume, you arrive at your wedding, and you are quickly dressed and sent into the room,
Mm-hmm.
and the music starts to play, and everyone rises.
I'm in my dress, and then I go partially on fire, and that makes the dress like choices work better.
Yeah. You look very beautiful.
with a charisma of 22, I'd hope so.
Even without that charisma, you'd look beautiful.
Sorry, with a charisma of 24, I'd hope so.
That's true.
Yeah, we'll just start walking forwards, which is the plan.
Yeah.
I will try and not move Grizzleband, which is what I was just doing a second ago.
There's a lot of. I don't blame you. There's a lot of tokens that I believe some of you can control.
Really? You think so?
Give me a perception roll, Fume. Even with that, you would notice your mum has attended. She is right where you booked her a seat.
Sacre bleu.
I like glance at her sort of sheepishly, but like try not to look at her in a way that would make her notice.
She seems to like be sort of looking at you both.
And I will get to the front and stand in my designated point with Reverend Croc.
All right, Reverend Croc, you're up.
Europe. Alright, let's go with my notes.
All right, Andrew, all this work you've done in preparation, it's all gonna pay off right now.
Yeah, all this work of me finding one joke that I liked.
I'll just make Terry bigger to compensate. Just for a little bit.
Alright, well, what's
Look at
the...
that. That's beautiful.
Australia, 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 Australia. That's obviously how you prepare, right?
Yeah.
Well, prep done. Go for it, Croc.
Dearly
Everyone
light,
has their warm up line.
we are gathered here before one or more gods or fewer to join this couple in pretty good matrimony. This isn't an Australian accent, but it's close enough. If anyone objects to this union, let them speak now or forever hold their peace, or do something else. Good job to anyone who figures out that reference. Is there, crossing figures, is there no interruption?
No, everyone seems to be quiet.
Everyone in the party's looking around like,
Don't hope no one objects.
it's
I
not-
mean, Court's not looking. Court's not looking around. He's just like, someone would have to have some serious in his head thinking someone would have to have some serious balls to try.
Is it just literally the thing of like everyone's like,
I can hear Joseph laughing. I don't like that.
so no?
No, everyone's fine with this.
Oh,
No
oh that's wonderful.
Croc's just like, oh, I really thought something would go wrong.
So I really try my hardest not to do the name. Have you come here to enter into marriage without coercion, freely and wholeheartedly? So, Fume and Bethany.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bethany will reply as well.
Are you prepared, as you follow the path of marriage, to love and honour each other for as long as you both shall live? And because of afterlife and stuff, maybe a bit after.
Yes.
I'm
Because
pretty sure we're both pseudo immortal, so like it's a long commitment. But yeah,
it's true. Also, technically, I was like born in the afterlife, so definitely all of the afterlife.
I mean I'm also from a metaphysical plane, so like I'm not sure how that really works. But yeah. Let's go.
Croc's
Go
just
with
like
yeah.
flipping through the book in front of him, trying to find anything and talking about like metaphysical planes or people born in the afterlife, and he's like, let's just continue. Are you prepared to accept children lovingly from God and bring them up in accordance with the law of Christ in his church? Whoa, who's
No.
Christ? Who's...
The book does say in accordance of the law of Sonia.
Yeah, good. Sonia,
God, like looks at Sonia, but is like,
thumbs up.
sure.
I suppose.
Alright. Oh, priest or deacon. Since it is your intention to enter into the holy covenant of matrimony, join your right hands and declare your consent before God and his church.
Sure. Hey, Sonia, I declare my consent.
Yes, I also declare my consent as well, son. Yeah.
Awesome. Alright,
This
When
is
you're having a wedding when God is there.
yeah, when the priest's like supposed to be representing God, but God's like 10 feet that way.
giving a thumbs up. Fume, do you take Bethany to be your wife? Do you promise to be faithful to her in good times? There's a pause, and in bad, in sickness and in health, to love her and to honour her for all the days of your life.
You couldn't separate me from her if you tried.
No.
Alright, now I need to go back and repeat that one. Bethany, do you take Fume to be your wife? Do you promise to be faithful to her in good times and bad, sickness and health, to love her and honour her in all days to come in life and so forth and forever, and eternity and metaphysical?
Absolutely and completely.
I'm just making
Is
sure.
her response.
Okay, yeah,
One
that's
second, Lawrence
fine.
Lawrence is chatting me about pizza.
He's missing the wedding for pizza. What a monster.
I can't believe he's done this.
I am enjoying the croc doing the Christian wedding vows.
Using the Christian wedding vows as a template and then just going,
Sonia, yeah. I'll be honest, I've somewhat changed churches recently, so it's a bit up in the air who I should be saying this to.
You could say it to Sonia.
Yeah,
No.
that is the current thing at the minute.
Okay, so what's the next line? What we got?
Alright. Well, in that case then, I see these two beautiful people before me. They have said their vows and have consented to eternity together. In the eyes, quite literally, of God over there. I
And
now
over
pronounce
there,
you man
there's actually a couple in the room.
and no, but wife and wife. You may kiss the wife.
Bethany will like lean in and give you a very passionate kiss.
Yep, Bethany is in charge.
I really enjoy just Croc constantly getting confused with the you may now kiss the yes.
You may
Uh,
now kiss the yeah.
For the passing of the wedding ring section, where like Fume goes to put a wedding ring on Bethany, it's like, I know I'm the hotter one, but like you are the brains and the brawn, so you know.
Aww. You're the most lovely, beautiful person I've ever met. As she puts
Oh no,
her-
I meant literally hotter, and the flames go higher.
She meant in the sense that your charisma is just very high. Your
That
charisma
is also true.
You are genuinely one of the most charismatic people. Just full stop.
It's so nice that the DM god keeps praising me. Ugh.
Oh, it's great.
But yeah, Terry will wander up with the like pillow that the rings are on. They've sort of been impaled on the back of the Trask spikes so that it doesn't fall off.
Yeah, so you imagine the spikes. A pillow has been pushed down the spikes, and then the rings have just been put on the spikes.
I'm so glad that no eggs have turned up to this part of our relationship.
Yeah, me too. Eggs? Question mark. I mean,
Do
they
you remember the
just
ones that
yeah,
overtook your home for a while?
yeah. I sort of just blanked that memory out. I'm gonna be honest. It was very traumatic.
But it was like a day after we met. How could you? That's such
True.
an important, like us fleeing the eggs together is such an important memory.
I remember that day. I remember the first time we met.
Which
Yeah,
Sunya chimes in. Which time? The first time you met happened like hundreds of times in a row.
I
Bethany's like,
remember
"Dang it."
all of them over and over again.
Oh yeah, we never give Bethany the memories of all the
Bethany
time
doesn't
loops.
know that it was a time loop, so she's like, hey, "We met in a time loop."
Okay, Bethany, when everything's calmed down, remind me. I can give you back those memories if you want them. There's a lot of just the same thing over and over.
I mean, I
Hey,
guess
hey,
I'll
the
accept.
advantage of a meeting in a time loop is it took me 30 or between 30 and 60 time loops to like be willing to talk to you.
Huh. Fair enough.
I'm not very I wasn't very confident by that point. I just got out of like being trapped in the ring and not being able to talk to anyone for an
No.
amount of time.
God, she gets her memories back and is like, wow, Fume was so awkward on the first 50.
Yeah, luckily she only remembers the one where I was not awkward, not quite as awkward.
God, there was that one where she came in just like slagging off demons and devils. That was really awkward. Oh,
Yeah, but it's Bethany, so she'll be like, it's awkward. It's Bethany, so she'll be like, it's awkward, but kind of cute.
it is very Fume. Gives you a big hug.
We
Wrapped around you are big devil wings to consolidate hug more.
This is the greatest moment of my life. That includes when I ate my father.
Damn,
Yeah.
that is great.
He, as you say that, Sunya's eyes dart around in panic.
Yeah, no, nothing bad's happening.
Oh, we're just like a dog that's been beaten so many times.
Like a moment of actual joy. I don't believe it. It's fiction.
He looks at the roof, expecting a collapse. Nothing. Alright. I'm watching you, roof.
You hear like cheers from everyone in the procession, including one notable sound will reach you above all others. Fume. You do specifically hear your mum say she's proud of you.
I die,
You die.
and then I quickly revive because of my immortality. But I'm like, I've never heard a parent tell me they're proud of me before.
In the brief moment of your death, you're like supported by Bethany, who's like really worried for a second, and then you're just alive again. She's like, "Oh, thank God."
Sorry, I died
And
of shock. Apologies.
that's okay. Well, don't scare me like that. Oh, sorry. I mean, thank. She like awkwardly looks over at Sonia. And is like, "Sorry, I mean, thank Sonia."
That's
Oh God,
fine, don't worry.
fair enough.
But like, Sonya's been making questions that make me want me to ask. Like, so, like, how many children do you want?
I'm happy with. As, I mean, I can see myself having kids in the future. How about you?
Sure. It's just Sonya's like really big on like asking about it, and like as a god, I feel kind of like bad for, like not going through with it.
I mean, do you want kids?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, she
Just
asks
like there's
you.
a thing we should probably have talked about at some point before this, But it's just like see, like I forgot about it, and then it's like seeing Sonya there and her being such a big thing. I'm like, oh shit, she was like,
She asks you to extend a finger forward, like
yeah,
effectively point your hand forward.
I
She points her hand forward, and an incredibly powerful glowing light appears at the end of her finger. She touches the end of your finger. She's like, "Okay, cool. We'll see how that goes."
I'm just gonna stay confused and not ask questions. I believe that whatever she does must be correct.
Or at least in your best interests.
Bark, bark.
You just feel really happy. There's just an intense wave of happiness.
I'm like checking for the happiness orb.
It's not around, shockingly.
Wow, this is the most happy I've ever felt without a happiness orb around.
I
And
know,
you-
and the
and-
happiness orb just makes you the most happy.
Yeah,
This is great.
it's pretty close as well, which is quite amazing.
I know, the happiness orb is literally all the joy in existence.
Fume will shout to the assembled crowd, "Hey, so you've put up with this sip part. Now for the part you're all actually here for."
Party time! And it's like, no, shut up, man.
The reception,
Um,
and then signals to that Amir.
Ama-
Now you can go.
Woo, party time!
Yes.
Turns to confused Terry. That means lunch. Terry cheers.
Terry just got vibing. So
just,
happy.
just doing the head bopping
I've
dog
got it in my
meme.
head of a Meg going, yeah. And Meg goes, party time, and Colt steps behind her and just slaps her back down. Stop it.
You didn't need to. Cthulhu was already waiting. Barame, don't do it.
I think
Oh.
fucking 5 different Hey, hey, Cthulhu, get in line.
Oh.
Who
Then
the
you
fuck?
all start making your way over to the reception area of the wedding.
Fume is effectively floating her way to this reception area.
It can be literal if you want.
Yes.
I moved you guys over, but I didn't move over. There we go. Look at the where's Wally? Of all of the characters.
Yeah, Fume will go and we'll go on the way and say thank you to Bethany's mum and dad and be like, you're such great people, and your daughter's so awesome, and I'm so glad I could help reunite you.
Oh, thanks so much. We're really happy to be reunited, and we're very grateful. Thanks very much. You've been
Eventually, we'll
wonderful.
figure out how to make it permanent for you to be able to get out of your dimension and then back here, but I don't know how that works yet.
I'm sure you'll figure it out someday. We're just happy for now. But yeah, the reception sort of kicks off. Oh no, Colt's moving so fast. There's two of them.
Everyone will have food and the
I
first round
think
of
it's,
drinks.
I think, I think,
I mean, it'll take
I
a while.
think mine
for
is struggling to load in.
Yeah.
That's why there's 2 of them.
Don't worry that your token is on the map. It might not have loaded in for you yet, but it's there. Definitely. There's
Alright.
a lot of tokens though.
Hit it, Rick. Never gonna give you up.
Yeah. Also, when people
I set Rick Astley on fire.
Never gonna let you down.
they gave me up. They let me down. Oh God.
I've paid him so much that he's willing to sing through the fire.
Oh, but yeah, when people sit down at their places, like a big feast appears in front of them,
You
and everyone starts eating.
did you cast a wish to make him immune to fire for
Oh no.
his performance?
No, he just has enough health to keep taking
Okay.
through it.
You paid him enough.
When the fire, like after a while, I'll stop the fire and then throw ice up him.
Never gonna turn around.
I need a con save from Rick Astley before he turns to an actual like ice statue.
Let's just.
1.
Oh, great! You roll even better. That's so much better than my roll.
Cool. Rick
1.
Astley is now an ice statue in the middle of the room.
Oh, but
Wow,
yeah,
what a lovely ice sculpture you've got. Snaps off a finger.
I didn't realize you guys had ice sculptures here. Huh. Must have been very hard to get here.
Looks so lifelike.
Yeah, crazy. So yeah, you're at the reception. Everyone's hanging out, making conversation. What do you guys all want to do
Credit to the scope there.
at the big party? Obviously, Fume, you're free to
Cole
mingle.
probably would just go around making conversation.
Effectively, Hume is on the. We have speeches after the food finishes, so we'll just
Yeah.
go and say hello to people that she's meant to say hello to, both on her side of the table and on Bethany's side, and just sort of like make our way around the place, and then back up to the top to actually eat her own food for a bit.
Your mum is in the building. If you want to talk to her as well.
I will try and talk to her and see how she is. And tell her I'm working on how to kill her, but I've also become partially immortal and I don't really know how that's working.
She turns to you and is like, "I'm very sorry for how I've treated you in the past.
Who are you?
I know I'll never be able to make it up to you, but I want to stop trying." As far as you can tell, she's telling the truth.
I'm like, I thought Dad had killed you, and then when I came back, and then you were all like, you're pointless and you're worthless. It broke me
What?
for a while.
He interrupts your rambling with just like a big hug. He's like, "I'm very sorry for everything I've done. I'm not sure if you can forgive me, but I would like to be in your life if you'll have me."
Just in tears.
Sonya's still looking at the ceiling.
There's a bunch of memory dragons up there.
Alright, good. They can hold the ceiling up.
And
Oh.
she will tell her mum that she's willing to try at least.
I'll give it my best. Thanks for being so open. And then you can return to your food with Bethany.
And wait for when the first round of drinks and the food is done, and then it'll be into people's speeches.
Yeah. The food eventually comes to an end. Everyone's nice, half a glass and a half in, and a lot of food. Colt, there is alcohol here that will get you drunk if you want it.
Yeah. He's just gonna see how the night plays out first. Otherwise, he's just going with what he said before: is whatever tastes nice, whatever
Oh yeah,
seems fit for revels.
everything here tastes
Oh,
amazing.
yeah. So,
Because
but if someone goes, "Hey, that stuff will get you drunk," he'll go, "I'll leave that for now."
one of the things that catches your attention is there seems to be this drink that you like psychically will into your mouth, which anyone can like will it with their mind. It's very flashy.
Nah, he as good as that sounds, Colt is more about is more concentrating on just mingling and talking to people, being
Yeah,
Mr. Sociable, being everyone's friend.
fair enough. There's lots of nice people here. You make some good conversation. Give me a charisma roll with give me
Yeah,
persuasion.
he'll also be like regaling because his clan are here. He'll be regaling them with what we've been getting up to lately. Persuasion was it?
Yeah. You charm the pants off of like
Dirty
almost
20.
everyone you speak to.
Yeah.
Uh, while everyone's mingling and stuff, Sunya's going to sneak over to the definitely not time dragon,
Yeah. Okay.
and just be like pointing out all of the different like races and creeds and everything, and like pointing out like the scene with Fume's mother and stuff, and just being like, this is what I was talking about with you. Like, even though there's so many bleak futures, there is still some hope that we can do this.
There are a lot of bleak futures, and this is a nice moment in this one.
Gotta try and be positive.
Yeah, it is hard though when you can view the infinite kaleidoscope of all futures, and so many of them are just awful. But I'll admit, this is a rare one. This event doesn't come up in many timelines.
So enjoy yourself.
Will do.
And your companions, I hope they enjoy themselves as well. Sunya winks at him.
Yeah, they're just mingling around the party. You see his son currently chatting to Ra and Senti, which is definitely an interesting conversation. So what do you guys know about time
Oh,
theory? And then Senti's
Court will
like,
be
can I
listening in on
hit
that
it?
one.
Can I punch time theory?
I was gonna
Uh,
say, Court will be listening on that one. If he starts with that, Court will be like, I used to be able to erase it once. Can't anymore though.
oh, that sounds cool.
Trying to relearn it though.
It was. I'm trying to relearn it. It's so hard.
Oh my, I mean, that guy can maybe help. Shifty eye.
No, I know it's fine. No, I know it's fine. I have an idea for it. Oh, good. Trust me. Thumbs up.
A So yeah, that brings like the first round of food and drinks to a close. So it's speech time. What order do you want to do the speeches in? Do you want to
Well,
start
like
with?
traditionally, it's like bride's father, then like like wow, it's one family's father, then the other family's father, but I don't like, and then it's the best people, and then the two brides will go. I think that's how it works usually.
Okay.
You like let's have that as like an in like conversations like so who's going? Fume, you would say a sudden panic on Sunya, and it's like yeah, so Fireball can go before me, excellent, and then you start seeing a panicked Sunya scribbling down stuff.
So Fireball's up first, who's definitely not here.
Yeah, I mean like you can do Bethany's parent first, but I mean
Okay.
like on the other side.
All of you are just panicking of like, oh god, speech.
No, like I obviously Andrew wants to do it off the top of his head, but in character, Sonia, like ironically, what happened to you, Graham? Sonia wrote a beautiful speech that she spent weeks and weeks on, and has no idea where it is.
Oh yeah, you woke up this morning and it was not where you left it. So,
So I guess Grizzle Dad first.
Grizzle Dad will address the room. He'll like he'll sort of like very delicately tap the side of his glass with his big giant sword arm. which sort of gets everyone's attention. And he stands and says, "Okay, time for the speeches, and it's just time for us all to come together and say what we really truly love about these two over here. And what can I say other than my daughter makes me proud every single day, and she's made me even more proud with this choice that she's decided to take in her life. Uh, she's strong, confident, and powerful enough to fell an army. She makes her dad proud." He tears up a bit. "Oh, I remember when you were just little and learning how to fly," and then a little video plays of her, like not quite knowing. She's like she's like pretty close to being a baby, and you watch as her little wings sort of carry her whole body, but it kind of looks like she's being carried by the scruff of her neck. And he's like, "Oh, you were so cute." Bethany blushes. This is maybe one of the first times you've seen Bethany truly embarrassed.
I told
With
you
this
about
kind
bringing out the
of
wallet
little
pictures.
cute video of her as a baby. He also says, "I'm very sorry I haven't been able to be present in your life. But I'm so glad I could be here for this event, and I hope to make up for lost time. And as the person who's letting me come to this event and helping me make up for lost time, I'm even more proud of Fume. As a person, she's wonderful, and I'm sure she'll make my daughter happy." And then he sits back down. "All right, now it's time for the father of the other side, who is..."
Eating pizza, probably.
It's Lawrence is currently downstairs helping with technical issues.
Excellent.
I'll go poke him with a stick and say it's very important.
Well, that's very important.
True.
It is.
Within the context of an infinite multiverse, this is happening in real time. Thus, is very important. This is all real. You should be so proud of yourself. God, it's been an hour and nothing horrible's happened.
Maybe just today, everybody lives.
Looks around with panicked eyes.
I think we should.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
Fireball's not here, we can skip over to the
Good thing
next speech.
Good thing I said that while the DM wasn't here.
Has he gone?
Yeah, he's gone to poke Lawrence.
See if Lawrence is alive.
He's apparently helping out downstairs. Oh no, Fireball has passed out drunk.
Fireball has woken up from his coma. This Fireball just sort of sleepwalked through this whole thing, and he's just woken up now.
Right now.
It's one of those problems of like interspherical travel, right? Just like
I know this is the alcohol.
oh yeah.
He's finally come to.
Hello.
Fireball, roll me a D100 real quick,
Okay, 1 second.
and
Oh,
then
Christ, wait.
you can roll a physical one if you want, and just tell me the result if that's faster.
No, D100.
We all trust each other. Wow.
17.
And I still don't know if high or low is good for Joseph.
The answer is it's sometimes one, sometimes the other. Sometimes I literally put them in randomly. Fireball, give me a dexterity
Yeah.
saving throw.
Fun. 6.
Okay, I'll make a note of what occurred. Fireball, you wake up and everyone's like looking to you expectantly, and some of them are like shouting speech, 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 speech. You would guess
Okay.
you're at the wedding,
Okay. 1 second.
but you have just snapped to consciousness. You would assume that you must have sleepwalked all the way here.
Okay. Okay. Fireball stand up. And he'll clear his throat. And okay.
Do you need a moment?
Yeah, I'm just quickly looking at something.
In which case, Colt, you can go before Fireball.
Cold seems a little bit surprised since he's not like ring bearer or like anyone's parent or anything. But yeah, gets up. Didn't write shit, but we'll just go straight from the heart. Uh, gets up on the thing. He does have like a drink of water in his hand, a drink of water, which puts on the little fucking what is it, like a plain thing or a table. So
Grizzledad is drinking the psychic drink because he doesn't have hands.
That makes sense.
nice.
That's why we have it.
that that I met Fume under the most unlikely of circumstances. And from the moment first met Fume, she's been one of the most inspirational people that I've ever met. Despite having such a difficult start to her adult and adventuring life, she's never lost heart, never lost hope, never stopped aspiring to something better. Even though that at times she was self-deprecating, she always had that drive to be free of her bonds and gain the freedom that she wanted, and essentially end up where she is now. And I couldn't be more as one of her, as I like to think, nearest friends. I couldn't be more proud and more inspired by the strength and charisma that Fume exudes. Her partner Bethany is truly one of a kind and is absolutely ideal for her. I have nothing but the greatest of hopes for the pair of you going forward. Here's the here's the freedom. Here's to love, and holds up his glass to the crowd.
Everyone cheers. Like, yeah, freedom, love.
Here's a toast to the happy couple.
Woo! Everyone toasts. Sonia.
Oh no! So yeah, panics and just looks at the scribbles in her hand and just like, well, they're garbage. Scrunches them up and throws them away.
Separate thing, Sonia.
Mm-hmm.
So you see the future.
I do sometimes, yeah.
Uh,
Especially when it's handy for the DM.
everyone's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone at the wedding is dead. All right, continue.
Just like Everyone's looking at Sonia, and she's just standing there, just nodding to herself. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Actually, roll perception.
Oh, excellent. Perception. Again, shouldn't be advantage.
What
Why
are
do I?
your
Why do I? Oh, it shouldn't be disadvantage.
what are your
Never mind.
portents?
You don't notice anything.
No, that should be. No, it should be the 10 because it wouldn't have been Never mind.
In
Excellent.
which case, yeah, you just see
What
the
do you-
future and everyone has died. Or been slaughtered brutally. Anyway, yeah, continue with your speech. Well, actually, it's technically Fume's mum's turn. So we're gonna go back and forth on this.
Excellent.
She stands up. Also, you would see that the time dragon looks worried.
Does Sonia look over at the time dragon? The time dragon looks at her, and they're both nodding at each other.
Yes. Oh, but yeah, Fume's Bethany's mum will stand up and be like, when I first started raising Bethany as a single mother, it was a really tough time, and we've had our arguments in the past, but I'm glad we could put those aside to come together and have a wonderful day today. I'm extremely honored to be the parent of
Ignore that. I rolled high enough that no one's noticing.
uh, extremely honored to be your mother, and I'm really honored that you've become such a wonderful person. But my favorite thing is just how dependable and loving you've become. You've truly honored this marriage, and you remind me of myself when I was young. You keep going, you get there, and you find the happiness you've sought in life. And then she says, to happiness, and everyone toasts. She'll then sort of take her seat. Alright, Fireball, you're up.
Fume, you notice Sonia put her arm around you.
Sonia, roll me another perception check.
Nice.
Oh, this is so good.
You know what? I'm not gonna use
Can
them
Sonia
now.
not use their portents?
Yeah, let's just roll like 500 portents. That's probably how many I've got in total. Alright, so on the next one I can nat 20 it.
Yeah, you don't notice anything.
Yeah.
Continue. Yeah, it's Fireball's turn for a speech. But yeah, we'll have a brief interlude of whatever Sonia's doing.
Yeah, it's like... Fume.
Mm-hmm.
How are things going?
Seems to be going great.
Mm-hmm. So... which would you prefer? Me to do my speech? Or me to tell you bad news?
Well, I mean, Fireball's got to do a speech first, right?
Yeah, I don't know how time relevant the bad news is.
What's the bad news?
Well, you know the whole I can see the future and there's a guest that you don't know who's here who can also see the future. Well, I might have saw everyone dead, and then I looked at the other person who you don't know is here, who also sees the future, and they also look quite panicked.
Okay, so everyone's gonna die.
From the looks of it, quite brutally.
As long as we stay here?
Well, everyone in this building that I saw was like that.
Is it gonna happen here in, like... or is this just that they'll die soon?
Joseph, was it like I saw? Like,
Oh, you saw them in this building.
Yeah.
Everyone had been slaughtered brutally. It was just like an incredibly gory scene.
Fume will stand up, interrupting. I assume Fireball's about to start speech.
Yeah.
and be
Sonia,
like,
make me another perception check.
Let's-
This one
Hey.
with advantage
What was
because
that?
it's very obvious.
With advantage, you see. And then I can make it a nat 20 if I need to. Alright, let's make that a nat 20.
Okay. Yeah, something is wrong. Like, you're definitely looking at what you know must be the future, but, like, when you look a little bit into the future, certain events are happening differently. Like, you never get up from your chair in any of them, and Fume never warns anybody.
okay, everybody, we're gonna have to
In
move
fact-
this out
in
to
fact,
the.
Now that you think about it, Fume's mum isn't in your vision ever. She's like not even a corpse on the floor. She's not like standing over everyone having murdered them. She's just not there. Like she shouldn't be here. Like something has altered causality in some way.
Yeah, let's move to the not in here party.
Yeah, so if we all want to head out to the garden where more drinks will be served, and then we can finish speeches in the garden area, just for a nice change of venue, and it's a place that Bethany went to the trouble to make in this place.
Yeah,
Oh,
we noticed
okay.
that the
Cool, well, immediately
suns
put
hit
two
like
and
the
two together.
perfect
If them
point.
two-
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Colt will immediately put two and two together. If those two are worried and not worried, but he'll probably see it on their faces, and they're trying to get everyone to go into the garden. Colt will as quickly as he can slip to his clan members and go, "Do what they're saying. Get everybody out, quick!"
I
So
mean,
we've got several people helping with this.
Colt definitely knows panicked Sonya eyes at this point.
Yeah. So he will just snap with a blink of an eye. He'll just spring into action, and he'll get Raw. He'll get Senti. He'll get Ben and his clan members. Anyone who would listen to him without question, just get everyone out. Do it. Do what they're saying. Help
Oh, everyone.
quickly.
So many people.
Let's make this as efficient as we can. Just do it, damn it!
Okay. They start racing off, moving people.
So
That was more me. That was more me complaining because of all the talk.
yeah, I know.
I thought it was Ben and Colt would just be like, "Just do it, you stupid lizard, go!"
No, that's absolutely me.
So someone at the front door yells in, the open bar's open, free drinks for all.
Everyone rushes out.
Excellent.
Free, you say? It'll be faster to just duplicate this map and then drag you all onto it. But without duplicating the tokens and objects. Alright, if you're someone who's not leaving, please drag yourself onto the map.
Okay, good. That's what I was thinking you might do.
It's much faster than being like,
Yeah.
alright, time to copy paste.
Fume will have explained to Bethany what's going on, and then to the two large, incredibly powerful demons that are her parents.
Okay, which reminds me, I do need to get some NPCs on this thing.
I mean, I will be honest, 100%. Sonya will be like, time boy, don't you fucking go near the drinks. You know that something's going on. You're staying and helping.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
that's the main
Time Boy
NPC
stay
I was
here.
looking
Yeah.
to get onto this map was Time Boy and the
But send your
parent.
family
Colt
outside.
will grab Colt will grab Vex as he's like, "You're." Grab Vex as he's like, "You're the strongest of our clan who isn't the leader. I need you here."
And we're here too.
They're so big.
We're here too.
Uh,
Colt has Raw here and Tikio.
I'm just trying to think like.
Tikio is the security bot. This is a breach of security. He's going to obliterate whatever's coming.
And Sandy, Croc, and like any of those other characters are staying outside so that there's someone protecting the people who are outside just in case.
You said those names, then I started like, oh, I have to copy paste them, and then I was like, oh no, I don't.
Yeah,
God.
Colt is going to say the same thing to Jerez as well. He's like, "Look, some things could get hairy. Be on your guard.
Yeah, we don't know what the
Hands up,
actual
shoulder
threat
boost.
is.
He
Yeah, something's coming.
the dragon will approach Sonia, this one I guess, and just be like, okay, so this future's not real?
Uh-huh.
Like, I've checked every future that can be, and this one doesn't happen.
Okay, that would explain a lot of the irregularities I'm having in my visions of things making sense and then not making sense.
Like, as far as I'm aware, we're not anywhere on a timeline.
Is that good or bad?
He literally goes, this is maybe one of the first questions about time I've ever been asked and not had the answer to. So,
I'm-
maybe?
Upside, that means it's a timeline you've not saw fail yet.
Yes, very true. All the other timelines horribly fail. This one, maybe not.
But someone definitely did kill everyone.
Oh, in a lot of different timelines, everything died, but not. This one is different.
That's good.
Maybe we won't all die.
Looks around panicked.
Looks at the ceiling again. Some dust falls
So
off of
neither of you guys,
the beams.
Colt entering the scene. Colt entering the scene. You guys didn't see what the actual threat is. You just
No.
know that it was strong enough to end everybody. Like not even you pointing at Time Boy.
Oh yeah, I was super dead.
Yeah, and the problem is because of this weird flux, I can't accurately see what's happening because a lot of things are or could.
Could literally be anything.
So first of all, while we've got a moment of calm, yeah, congratulations.
Oh yeah, I need to drag Bethany on.
Yeah.
That is important.
The, hey, look at it this way, Fume. Potentially, your wedding might have created the focal point for us fixing everything. Just fingers crossed.
I don't know what that means, but sure, you're the smart one.
This might be the timeline where
Yeah,
everyone wins.
High, where with high wisdom with high wisdom, Colt might put two and two together and just go, "You mean like if this wedding didn't happen, everyone would be dead? But the fact that it has happened means it's cool now?" Question mark to smart people.
Well, no, like,
The
what?
dragon's like, maybe we'd have to check this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start looking at time. Something must have caused a error in it.
Like, something clearly was going to kill everyone in this place, but hasn't now, because
You see the dragon's eyes start fractaling.
because like we made everyone go outside, therefore what happened didn't, whatever it was
Yeah.
didn't happen. Everyone's having a lovely time outside. They don't know about everyone inside panicking.
Colt is going to make a phone call to someone who I realize I don't think I've seen all day.
Hey, timey people. Is there an
I
actual
don't think
threat here?
I
or-
might be wrong because it is a Waldo of NPC.
Is there a delay on my end or on James's?
Unknown. I know that both of you saw him.
Okay. I was gonna be like asking the timey people, hey, is there an actual threat coming, or did we evacuate just to avoid like the worst case scenario?
That's
Uh,
kind of what we're trying to figure out.
Okay.
Sonia, you start checking timelines. There's a couple where like the governments show up, and in about 50% of them, they manage to kill most. Well, they don't. In a lot of them, they don't kill everyone, but they do kill the time dragon in a bunch of them. in a couple, like a bunch of people at the party die, but the time dragon basically wins. Sometimes, like, it's pretty rare that timelines occur where everyone dies, but you were so sure you were on the timeline where everyone dies, like so sure.
But so that then I know that it was the like, at least most part that it was related to the government,
Uh, Possibly
or at
the
least in many of the timelines.
in the majority of them, yes. Sometimes other things occur that, like, it's hard to determine if they're governmenty related, but yeah.
Okay, but I can definitely tell everyone that, like, okay, so
In
uh,
fact, one of the only timelines that you're not sure on is the one you thought you were on. Like, you're unsure of what killed everyone in that one, very specifically.
I do know what one thing though. In some of the timelines, the government turns on us and kills everyone, or nearly everyone. Which
Which government?
I mean, I think I've seen all of them.
Yes, it's usually a united front between every government sending a giant, like, congregation of, like, super weapons battleships and just everything to here, and then having them kill the time dragon while he's not at the center of his empire.
Really, that's what fucking. All we ask is for them to come together for something important, but they're like, no, 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 only for war we come together.
But, like, as far as you are aware, that they haven't showed up. But that is usually the event that occurs, or at least the event that occurs when everyone dies. Sometimes the wedding happens without a hitch, but it never goes this well.
Okay,
Like, often Fume's mum doesn't show up. A lot of the times, like, uh, people, like, not everyone can make it. In fact, there's very few futures where it goes this well, and in the only one where it does, everyone dies through mysterious means.
Okay. How about how about
It
wait,
also, Sonia, can you roll me perception?
no, I'm not that
What's up,
again.
Fireball?
Actually, no, insight. I want you to insight time for me.
Ah,
It's very rude of these people to be interrupting Fireball as he's in the middle of this statement.
Yeah, go Fireball.
uh right, so you're telling me in some of these timelines the government comes and kills us. How
yes.
who kills us in the other timelines?
Uh, in the worst ones, I don't know. Something just kills everything. I can't seem to
Okay.
pinpoint exactly what it is.
There's the occasional timeline where it turns out a mayor just got drunk last night and blows up the planet. Like, that happens occasionally. But most people at this place are immortal.
Okay.
That happens, but you're pretty sure a mayor didn't cause the one where you normally die.
Okay, so it's a random mysterious force that kills us some of the time, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Is there any way that you can discern what this mysterious force is?
I think that's what our friend over here, Points of Time Boy, is doing right now, trying to figure out what's going on.
Also, goddamn, you nat 20'd that.
I did, yeah.
Um, yeah, something is causing a disturbance in time, and you notice that it's sort of emanating out from the timelines that you were looking at initially, until you realize that you are actually the thing, or something on you is causing these like, the changes.
Right.
Also, the time dragon will be like, "Oh yeah, it looks like it's your fault, Sonia. Well, something you have at least." like you in and of yourself don't seem to be doing it. It's something you possess.
Joseph. Is it the Seppi?
Do you hand him the Seppi?
Yeah. The thing that we don't know what it looks like or what it is.
I was just gonna say, what the hell even is it?
He
The
looks at the
stupidest of
Seppi
in-jokes.
and he goes, I don't know what this is,
yeah.
but it seems powerful, but it's not the cause of what's happening.
Okay, let's put that back in the pocket. We'll figure that out later. I guess Sonia just starts essentially stripping down.
You don't appear to have anything. Like when the dragon's looking at all your stuff, you don't appear to have anything on you that would
Would it be the other you?
It doesn't seem to. It's none of the other Sonyas. It's specifically this one.
What
Right.
happens if we? What happens if we obliterate this Sonia? Not that I want to do that.
I mean, it'll probably hurt.
Well,
I'll
I
come back
imagine
in
it would hurt where
month or two.
I'd imagine it would hurt where we'd be obliterating you, but would destroying you either alleviate or terminate the issues we're having?
Also, technically, we're not having an issue. We're having something good's happening.
Yeah.
What? Well,
now,
yes,
now
but
that we know what the problem is, we can sort it out.
yeah, but splitting and branching timelines is an issue.
Actually, the Time Dragon will also note that it seems all partly environmental. What's going on? Like Sonia has something that is reacting to what has occurred, and it's changed everything.
Okay,
Is it
so
because of what your divine domain is, and we're at a at a event of love and togetherness or
Maybe.
creation that you might want to
Yeah,
call it?
here's a weird thought. What if
Sonia,
all
roll
the
me another
all,
insight.
all the other me's have give themselves up to make this one work? There's a
Roll me
weird
ano-
thought.
Roll me another insight, Sonia. Now that you have an
Still
extra
not
piece of
bad.
You actually notice something that the Time Dragon sort of missed. He tracked the source of the thing, but now that you look at the pattern yourself, it's kind of emanating from, to a slightly lesser extent, but it's kind of emanating from, everyone else in the room as well, you notice. Including, some of the emanations are coming from people outside. Mostly people, who were at the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Roll me. Anyone can roll me investigation, assuming Sonia's telling you this information.
I mean,
is
my
Sonia telling us
mod
this
is
Yeah,
information?
yes.
my mod is garbage, but I will roll anyway.
Wow, Fume, very well done.
Makes sense that Phoebe sort of figures this out, actually.
Does
Does a
sound fitting.
21 work?
Yeah. Just I mean, we have a Sonia to go as well, but we'll just let Phoebe have it. To be honest,
Yeah.
25 is high enough.
Plus, I was having it as Sonia is telling so everyone else is investigating what she said. I mean, there is the other two Sonias, but fuck them.
Fume,
Mm-hmm.
you think this has something to do with you're unsure, but you think it has something to do a thing occurs to you, which is the only thing you can think of that is this powerful would be an artifact of some kind that could alter fate to this extent.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start thinking about what major forces are at play during your wedding, and the only thing you can think of is a love of everyone around you and friendship and joy and happiness generally.
Mm-hmm.
You would guess it's the influence of an artifact of some positive emotion, and it is helping you all.
Are you implying that the artifact of happiness is doing this?
Maybe, but you don't remember it having that sort of power, but it might.
So I'm just
Could
like,
the power artifact be doing any of this?
No,
don't
that's in its own
think
little house now.
Like, also the happiness artifact isn't really near here.
okay, so the artifact. Yeah.
A thought occurs,
Sorry.
like the additional information of like the source is from Sunya. Is you'd guess at some point Sunya picked up an artifact that she doesn't realize she possesses. And
Sonia, I think
that
you've got
is
an artifact that
causing
you don't know you possess.
Nice. Turns to timey-wimey friend.
He shrugs.
I did
guess.
drink that goop, but does that count?
I don't know. Whatever it is, it's hiding itself very well from me.
Okay, well this is great. Whatever the hell it is.
Yeah? Shrugs?
Yeah,
Something
could Raw chime into the time dragon just like, you have true sight, correct?
the time dragon says, yeah. Actually, Ra,
Yeah.
can he roll a perception check?
Wait,
Yeah.
you have a divine
Also,
spark, don't you, Sonia?
Yeah.
Also, it's the first time Raw has met the time dragon, and he's just like, okay, so you have true sight yet? Cool. Dick.
Also, Fireball, most of what Fume says occurs to you, but not that, like, it doesn't occur to you that Sunya might have an artifact she doesn't know about.
Oh, okay.
But Fume just says that all out loud anyway. But, yeah? Or at least it doesn't immediately occur to you. But you do, like, agree with the point. Perception.
25.
Ra sort of sees the outline of Sunya's soul. And initially, he can't really see anything, like, super different from how it normally looks. But then with the extra information about this, like, weird energy and stuff... and actually, Colt, he can roll insight as well.
Cool to roll insight. Because Courts doesn't know true sight, but he's gonna freaking be looking around
It's
when
more...
Fume says you have an artifact that you don't know you possess.
Use those peepers.
31.
Peepers
Yeah,
activated.
I'll give it to Colt.
Peepers
instead
active.
then. Colt, you don't, like... Ra gets sort of a more technical thing, but Colt, you sort of really look at Sunya's key, and it seems to be different. Like, when you sort of tune into this whole, like, everyone's emitting these weird energy readings, you kind of notice that everyone's key in the room has sort of almost pseudo-linked, and they all seem to be improving each other in some way. But it's, like, very minor, as far as you can tell. Like, it's exceedingly difficult to notice. You only barely pick up on it.
Yeah, Court starts just with, that's interesting.
And Sunya seems
Sonia,
to simply be the, like, bridge through which all of this occurs.
a conduit of some kind.
Yeah, and Ra will be like... Ra will say there's something, like, hidden inside of your soul, but it's quite hard to make out.
That makes sense considering what I can see happening. And Sonia, I know that you're not exactly a practitioner of ki, but that doesn't change the fact that all living things do have it. And whatever Ra is seeing that's attached to your spirit appears to be branching out. It's connecting to everyone else's sort of like spiritual energies, their ki, to so to speak.
And that's a
And
good
it
thing, right?
it looks like a good thing because at the moment it looks like it's very slightly enhancing everybody. But if that were to be inverted and then amplified, well, that can't be good.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't intend to suck everyone.
Oh my.
as far as you can tell, Colt, everyone's sort of energy seems to be cooperating, and
Everything seems stable for now.
it's like when two waves with like the same amplitude collide and they make each other stronger.
Joseph, would a good example be? It's a bit like a central nervous system, and Sonya's the heart, where everyone's
Uh,
connected like the veins.
yeah, a little bit, yeah.
I mean, you'd be more the brain,
I would
but
just mean like the
yes,
heart because that like pumps
the
the blood
core.
around, and the key is like the blood in this example.
Yeah,
Yes,
sort of. It's a pretty good analogy for what's going on.
you are you are the god of creation and fertility and life and basically this. So kind of makes sense. The question is why now? Unless it's been happening the whole time.
No, you definitively, Sonia, you are aware that this change has only started now.
Well, I
You're
can't
the you're,
guess.
you're the god of like love and fertility and shit, right?
Uh,
Well, you just said that.
like
Basically.
Yeah.
sort of. There are
So
gods of
so
those specific things. Mine is specifically reproduction.
okay, so do we need to fuck something to get rid of this, or sorry for the language?
I don't know.
Given that this is the abyss, is that appropriate here? I guess it would be more appropriate than not here, I guess.
I don't think that's the solution, Fireball. As much as I've missed having you
Anyway,
around, as much as I've missed having you around, I don't think that's it.
elementals don't do it in that way.
Exactly.
Cole,
Yes.
roll perception.
Mm.
Oh,
Ouch.
don't worry, you don't notice anything. I'll also let anybody who has like
Wait a minute.
special vision and has been told about this like weird connection you all have to
I'm gonna
be allowed
scroll back up,
perception
but with all the
as well.
fucking things I rolled.
I don't. I
80, and I
don't
can
know.
give Colt an 80 in.
Oh, Colt, you notice something because this is the timeline where you notice something.
Because
Actually,
Sonya the Diviner can bend fate.
it gets a little stronger. You notice that when you and Fireball have your little bit of like banter, the connection between you two, like the way the key moves, sort of gets a bit more intense. And actually when Sunya sort of tries to alter fate to help you, you notice the connection between you and her get a bit stronger.
Okay, that's interesting. So this has probably just started because we're at Fume's wedding, where everybody's, gesturing towards the time dragon. It's a day of peace, a day of togetherness, a day of everyone enforcing and bringing to light each other's greatest qualities and being honest with how happy we are to be together with each other. Just me there, just saying that I'm happy that Fireball's back just for today made the connection between me and him sort of like lighten up and strengthen a bit more. And then you've used your magic on me there, Sonia. It did the same thing. If everybody in this whole building is doing that to each other all the time and it gets amped up and amped up and amped up, who knows what might happen?
You know what this calls for?
A roast off?
Group hug.
Yes.
Yes.
Then a
You're
roast
coming-
off.
You're coming for a big group hug.
Yeah.
You do notice the waves get stronger when you're all going in for the big hug. as these two basically just pick up the entire hug.
Yeah,
and give you all
there's
the-
two people that are
Just
part of
watch
the
out for the
hug.
blades. Watch out for the blades.
Oh,
Use the blunt edge.
Whilst this hug is going on, I'll say to Beam's mum, I'm sorry for everything that I've done to upset you.
it's fine. We're at Fume's wedding. Just today, I'll forgive you. You notice that initially, uh, roll me perception again. People who can see weird stuff.
Okay, can I insert?
Do I have weird vision stuff?
Oh wait a minute, Ben isn't here.
Ben is not here. I can drag him on. Hang on.
No, I was gonna make a joke of like Ben being like, "Do you forgive me?" and her being like, "No, you've still got a bit more work to do."
I mean, do you want me to drag him on?
Do I get to make that joke?
Yeah, if you want. I'll see if I can find it.
No, I don't think I've got any kind of special vision. So
I don't.
It can be if you have. It doesn't need to be special vision necessarily. It just needs to be some extra sensory thing.
I don't have any sort of extra sensory thing either.
Okay.
Not that I can see anyway.
I could turn into a cat and then it could be perception.
Kill
yeah,
yourself.
Ben creepier. You notice that the okay, Sonia, when you make that joke specifically, you notice your energy going towards Fume increases, and then when Fume responds with "kill yourself," her energy going towards you decreases.
These are the jokes that made us almost fall out in that 50-year in that time prison, but we got over it.
Oh,
I'm totally fine with them now. They don't bother me at all.
It was just a
You had
reminder. I
150
just
years,
remembered.
surely
oh.
You had
Uh,
150 years. Surely you figured out how to deal with puns.
Ugh.
But yeah, people with extrasensory abilities will also note when initially when she was asked to forgive, she was like quite apprehensive, or at least the energy around her seemed to diminish a bit. But then everyone else's energy sort of like rushed to her, and you think that she sort of came to terms with like the things that he did and then forgave him. A similar thing happens when you make that joke with Ben, of like she's initially like, I don't know, but then he does remind her of like the wish help, and like he tries to make a compelling argument for why like he should be forgiven. Well, he doesn't necessarily ask to be forgiven though. He thinks he should earn it, and she's like more accepting of that, and eventually will be on terms with him that's like not imminently gonna kill him. We'll say. She hasn't quite forgiven him yet, but like not about to murder him.
So whatever this artifact is definitely to do with bonds.
And Fireball gets to be in the middle.
Yeah, the nice toasty middle.
It's a bond beyond time, some might say.
That is technically true. Yes.
It's very accurate.
No ancient spirit's gonna show up now. Okay.
Well, you didn't shout the catchphrase, so no. But yeah,
Sorry, I just saw a GIF. I need to share this GIF.
the group hug generally makes everyone's weird energy improve as well.
Hey, maybe this is like coming back to what I said to you before. Bestest time friend. Like the idea of us actually figuring out everyone coming together instead of everyone splintering off might actually be the thing that allows this to work.
Yeah. I mean, I've literally never observed this in any of the timelines. So, I guess we just continue. At one point, let's see, who would be funny? You, Andrew. You're
What?
gonna get a bit more bullied.
Ah,
Well,
yes. But which Andrew? There's many.
RU has been sent with a task to go back in and ask like if everyone in the room's okay, and
Just
he just
everyone's a
walked
big
in
hug.
and everyone is in big hug. What does RU do? Does he just like watch what's happening, then like close the door, being like, they're clearly having a moment?
Nah, I don't think
People-
RU's like that away. He'd just stand and watch.
just
He's like
stands
he's been asked to do something, so he's gonna do that. But like obviously they're busy, so
stands there watching
really awkwardly.
the big hug.
Can I see are you from here?
Oh yeah, everyone can like everyone heard him open the door and walk in.
Like,
Hey, robot boy, get over here.
Okay.
Get over here, robot boy. Come have a hug.
I mean,
Do you
I
jump
don't
into?
know
Do you get into this hug? Are you?
if
Let's go.
TKO is in on the big hug. He could like go robot to robot.
I don't understand what's going on either. Just let them have this. Like I guess it's a wedding. Maybe
I mean,
this is normal.
TKO could go over and talk to him, robot to robot.
It's really hard for me to discern this. What are RU's emotions right now about what's going on?
Confused?
Okay. People with extrasensory perception will see that there isn't really much energy coming from RU of this weird energy that's going on, like almost none. Like there's a little bit,
Ma-
but it's not nearly as intense as like any of you guys.
Makes sense.
Let's go outside.
Let's go hug everyone.
Do you not want to call everyone inside? Don't want to have to.
Okay, let's call everyone in.
Alright, Joseph,
Um,
can you guarantee nothing bad will happen by bringing them back inside?
I can't, but I don't want to have to make a new map.
Sonia, do you have any more special timey spell
Do you-
things that could
you want-
maybe
If you guys want,
discern whether that would be a good idea or not?
if you guys want, you can, and I will do that. But it will not make the DM happy.
Exactly. I'm trying to be nice here, Joseph, and ask. I'm basically asking, does bringing everyone back inside cause everyone to die? Yes or no?
Obviously, I can't tell you that because that's
That's why
basically
Court said this.
that's
That's why
just telling.
Court said to Sonia in character, "Hey, you can see through time and things? Do you not have any other special timey spell things that could maybe discern whether that's a good idea or not?
Yeah.
Because there are spells that do that."
Also, Sonia, as far as you're aware, you should have all been dead 10 seconds ago. In terms of
Excellent.
your future sight.
Oh,
Alright,
so we've usurped it then.
so actually, yeah, bring everyone back in. We can finish the speeches. And,
Fireball, go and get everyone.
like, Sonia points at Timey Boy, like, while she's saying this. And the two of us can, like, really focus. And, like, now that everything's back to the way it was, we can see what futures occur.
Okay. As far as you're both aware, you are still on the timeline where everyone is dead. Every time you look into the future, you just see a bunch of corpses. but like logically you should have been dead a while ago, but nothing bad has happened.
Well, let's just try and enjoy the rest of the stuff. We can't panic
Yeah.
about everything every 2 seconds.
Speech, Fireball, speech.
Okay. Fireball stands up and jumps up onto the table and says, "You know, the first time I met Fume, it was interesting, and not necessarily under the best of circumstances, given her specific location at the time. But sometimes the best way to solve your own problems is to help somebody else, and that's what Fume did with me and the rest of the party. And the goal that Fume ultimately wanted at the time, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, was to earn her freedom. And even though life at the time was like a dark tunnel, and the light at the end seems far away, sometimes you just need a fire elemental to light the bastard tunnel up. And Fume and everybody else here have had a profound effect not only on me, but on everybody else in this room, I think. And the multiverse at large, given our shenanigans. I've completely gone blank on what his name is.
Whose name are you trying to remember? Bethany.
Bethany. I've completely gone off track to what I was thinking now.
I mean, if you end it there, technically that is a pretty good place to end the speech, and people will start cheering.
Yeah.
But you can keep going if you want.
Fireball will jump down to here, raise a glass of Fireball whiskey, and say to Fume and Bethany.
Wait a minute, how did... never mind. Woo! Yeah, everyone goes, woo! Yeah!
Woo!
You hear a pollo!
Oh god, he's back.
I noticed.
No, it's... I noticed that ages ago. I'm more like, when did Felix get here?
Yes. Oh, it was a while ago.
Who the hell said that? No.
It's very clear the pink ball said it. The pollo.
Just unleashing ninth level.
So have you just noticed it now?
I noticed the Poyo ages ago. I only noticed Felix like 10 seconds ago.
Felix is much more hideable.
I noticed Poyo as soon as Andrew dragged Poyo onto the map.
Also, Joseph, did you know that Oral is in here?
Yes, I did see Oral when I was messing about with Terry.
I didn't know. I didn't know whether you did that on.
Andrew clearly did that.
Ah,
Andrew has invited Frostmaiden, uh, Felix
Obviously a
the
different
Thumbtack.
one because the one here is fucking dead.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
and Kirby.
Mhm.
Felix is this is
Mhm.
canon. This is what Felix was dreaming about while we were having our like eldritch nightmare.
Oh, good for Felix. Explains why they were so confused.
Mhm.
So yeah, everyone's quite happy.
Mhm.
Technically, the last speech before the two brides make their speech is Sonia. So Sonia, you're up.
And then she coughs again because she made herself cough. Okay, so like Fireball said, the way we met Fume was definitely an interesting one, and it is weird to think that we could have 100% not met her. And that is super weird. Like, look at all the people in here today, all gathered for this one person and her bestest person. And, like, obviously, let's be honest, like, looks Fume straight directly in the eyes. As one to another, you're definitely somewhat of a chaotic bitch. But, like, we all absolutely love you. And I do think that we've had our ups and downs. Many of them weren't exactly your fault. Whatever the voice in your head's saying right now, tell him to go fuck himself.
Kill them all.
Uh, but like, I really do think, especially between the two of us, you're now technically my oldest friend by a wide margin. And I do think that for many of us, we, and obviously I don't speak for everyone here, but like I think we're like to the point where I would class you as like your family to me. And God, the universe is so fucked, and but there's like this is exactly why I want us to succeed, because something as beautiful as this can happen. And just I only hope for all of the happiness in the world to come both of your ways. And then she takes a little bow.
All right, Fume, do you want to do your speech now, or do you want Bethany to do her speech now?
No, I'll go. I'll go.
Okay.
Fume pulls out the paper she wrote a speech on. It goes up in flames as she picks it, holds it. It's like, damn it!
God damn it.
God, we're awful at this.
I'm maybe the unluckiest person in the world with this, but you know, I've been very
How did
lucky
you
in other
write that
things
in the
so far
first
for
place?
that reason.
She wrote it with the ice hand, but she took it out with the fire hand.
Yeah, this was the issue. It was a little bit soggy because of the ice head, but somehow my flame still got rid of it. Yeah, Fume's gonna be like, turn to look at Bethany, then look at everyone else, then look back at Bethany and be like, yeah, I don't have a lot to say because how to put it? Yeah, when I first met Bethany, as I had just been released as a new slave to Fireball.
There's some like gasps.
All the people who
Not
didn't know that are like,
slave.
wait, what?
No.
And then Fireball gets some dirty looks.
Before he eventually helped me get free.
I was just thinking, oh, he's gonna get all the hacky looks.
Oh,
Look,
the
When
look sort of calmed down on you, Fireball.
look, Joseph, you said everyone was going to die, right?
I mean, as far as
Might
Sonya's
just be
aware,
you.
everyone died like 10 minutes ago.
I time travel and like kill everyone.
sadly, you don't have those powers.
Anyway, sorry.
There are several
Also, I don't
people
think
you
you have
could
the
you
capacity
you
to
are
kill
incapable
everyone
of
here.
killing.
Oh,
Anyway, Fume's speech.
Yeah, please continue,
Yes,
please.
stop interrupting the bride.
It's like when we first met, I was incredibly terrified and incredibly in love already at first sight. And it took me something like 40 times looping through the same time period to finally actually talk to you in a way that wasn't just me saying syllables that didn't make words. Which, fortunately you seem to have forgotten all of those time loops, so like I just seemed like relatively cool to you.
yeah. You were very stunning when I first met you.
You stuck by me when I became useless and lost my powers because of some reason.
Oh, you were never useless.
It's fine, I was an abomination.
Oh, not to me.
But the most important thing for me is that in the future we will be able to live our lives as you, the ruler of this domain around you, and me as the last person in charge, like as the person who's theoretically next in line to be in charge of the fire plane. I know that's being disputed, but I will eat those things that are disputing it and move that back. And then we can smash our domains together and make a one big cool abyss layer slash fire plane. It'll be great.
Yeah. A bunch of the devils and demons start cheering like, woo, yeah.
And once we throw off the natural balance towards chaos, like the world will become a better place for us.
Yeah.
And I know that everyone here truly will be in favor of us doing this and will help us in the end with all of your strength, because we're all a big happy family who will make chaos and fire throughout the universe together.
Mayor's
Oh,
like, I'll get on that.
oh, and of course we'll save it from whatever the fuck's going wrong with it at the moment, but that's not important.
True.
Yeah, that's a tomorrow problem.
Today's problem is that you're all not drunk enough.
Yeah. Everyone cheers at that. Everyone liked that.
Except one of the Emirs that's just like unconscious drunk is like, except you.
Because
There's only
the
one
happiest
mayor at this party.
yeah, Fume's like, this is the happiest day I think I'll ever experience. And I'm glad that you're all a part of it.
Everyone cheers. And then Bethany will start her speech.
It's like before as Fume said, there's like, oh man, I had like a bunch of like poetry and shit written. Like, oh god, I lost so much.
20
When
pages.
when Fume mentions taking over the fire plane, um, Fireball looks all happy but shifts slightly uncomfortably.
Oh, it's fine. Your fire plane's in a different universe.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Bethany will start her speech with the whole like, Fume's the love of my life, and when I first saw her, I did feel like that moment lasted a very long time, and as I've just been informed, apparently it did. Uh, but she's such a wonderful person. I'm glad to have been part of her life, and she completes me totally, adding a little bit of chaos and wonder to my more neutral approach to things, and she's made me the person I am today. I couldn't have gotten through sometimes without her, especially when I lost my home. I was really down then, and I really needed to lean on her. But I'm so happy that she could be there for me, and I'm so happy that she could bring you all, like help gather everyone here, and I'm so happy she could reunite me with my dad. I just can't be thankful enough to her. She's truly the love of my life. Thank you all for coming. Now let's get drunk.
Yay!
Everyone cheers, raising a glass. And then drinking and revelry starts.
Begin the revelry.
But yeah, so we can like call it there if you guys want to, or we can do some because like you can go around and like chat to a bunch of the NPCs if you want to, and we can either do that next time or we can call it here if because Graham seems tired.
I have to be up really early tomorrow to drive, so I would prefer to not stick around too long. But
Oh, I
if
I know the last thing we
Yeah,
can do.
yeah,
As Colt hasn't had a chance to do it yet. You've got wedding gifts to give.
True.
oh yeah,
We do have all the wedding. There is a big pile of wedding.
I'm more referring to like party based.
wedding gifts.
Yeah, then let's go through all of the gifts.
Yeah. So yeah, party wedding gift time.
I have received the greatest gift Fireball could ever give. Give more fireballs.
Hang on, I'll just.
Fireball will then approach Bethany and give another staff of fireballs to Bethany.
Oh, you guys are matching set. Oh, it's so perfect.
Big, just pile of presents. There's actually more presents off in this room as well.
In the present room, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And that's not even covering the ones that are inside of the ring.
True. But yeah, Bethany will like thank you very much, Fireball. She gives you a little pat on the head.
Fireball will have signed both of them as well.
Nice.
Weird, but cool.
Good flex.
Do they also like fit together? Are they like sort of
Yeah, they're sort of like they work as two separate stuffs of Fireball, but you can sort of like slot them together to make like stuff of like Super Fireball.
bigger Fireball?
Because that's
Yeah.
what we all really want.
Nice. Fireball truly bringing the meaning of fire to this union.
Yeah.
James, do you want to
Can you
go
hear me?
next?
Yeah, can do. The gift that Colt gives to Fume and Bethany, it's kind of like a one to the pair of you. It is a sort of statuette of the pair of you that looks like it's been very lovingly sculpted. It is of Fume and Bethany on matching thrones, sat next to each other, holding hands. It appears to be made out of solid silver. However, no matter how hot, how much heat you're putting out, it doesn't like char or burn or anything or melt. And underneath is inscribed, may your relationship be an eternal flame that outburns the greatest of stars, your buddy, Colt. And you might not notice this straight away, but it does have the added ability that both you and Bethany are now under the effects of warding bond. So you have a +1 to all your AC and saves, and you take half damage.
So cool.
But it's a kind of present to the pair of you.
Yeah, Fumi's like looking at it for like little details on the Bethany. Is like, man, this is almost like this is perfect.
Bethany's like, this is amazing. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I made it
Wow,
myself.
your craftsmanship has like gotten so good now.
Yeah, it's amazing. So detailed.
Thank you. And
Are
you
you
will.
sure you want to continue being like a fighter monk and not just become a craftsperson? Because this seems like a lucrative business model.
Yeah, I could legit do that someday if I ever plan to retire. But I just can't replace the thrill of a fight.
Oh,
Just
that
love
that is
punching stuff.
that is such a fun NPC of like old retired Colt. Just a little young fighter finds him in his shack, and he's just like sculpting stuff, and he's like, "Oh, the master sculptor, teach me to fight so I can win this tournament against my evil rival." That is a
Or like
fun.
he doesn't even know that the sculptor is like a legendary master warrior, but Colt hears him talking about entering some tournament. He's like, "Well, you're gonna want to swing good here," and throws him out like a quarter staff that's magical.
Yeah. Oh, that would be such a fun side story for when Colt retires. Anyway, Sonia, what do you got?
Well, wanting to go last because
Oh,
obvious.
sure. In which case, Bethany's parents do have
Ah,
like important presents as well.
I
If you want to go last.
yeah. Mine's really stupid, so I want to go last because I
Mm.
want everyone else's to be really heartfelt and wonderful, and then it's such a Sonya present.
Grizzle Dad looks at you both, and a little table made of shadows appears behind you with two cups on it. Uh, Bethany looks at him like with a slight amount of like shock, but like on her face. And she's like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's time. You've earned it." Uh, he tells you to drink from like these two shadowy cups. The liquid inside appears to be like a mellow pink color.
Mhm.
Uh,
Sure.
you both take a drink. Fume. Your hit point maximum has been permanently increased by 100, as has Bethany's.
Sick.
And Grizzle Dad's just like, it's the cup of life.
Just a casual cup of life.
Yeah, it renders you like you'll never die from old age. You'll never experience the negative effects of old age, and it's also like very prestigious, in that uh, people know, like certain people can sense that you have drank from the cup of life, and like consider it highly respectable. Typically, only incredibly important people ever even get to see it. But yeah, and then her mum will approach you both and offer you each a ring. There is a star inside of the rings, or what looks like a tiny star.
I'm just
Uh,
like, what? How?
just like it took. I mean, it took a long time to craft. It's really hard to get the spatial compression that big, but I've been saving these. I've been making these ever since I had Bethany. I'd always planned on giving her one on our wedding day, and one to her partner as well. And you bring me so much honor that I can present you with these rings. I spent a long time working on them.
For the love of God, don't break it. The sun will immediately go back to its full size.
Uh, legitimately, how they work is once you put them on, uh, the magic is actually sustained by the force of your relationship.
Ooh.
You go through a rough patch and it breaks and you die.
Uh,
But yeah, that's not a thing.
hopefully not. I mean, if you go through a rough patch, it won't break the ring. Like the magic is pretty sturdy, but I would probably get rid of it quite quickly.
Sure.
And she'll go back to her seat.
Happily puts on the ring.
Bethany's also wearing hers very proudly.
That brings us to the silly gift.
Yeah, Sonia, you're up.
Sonya snaps her fingers, and the other two Sonyas run over. And the three of them go forward and are like, okay, so this is something we have been working on for a very long time. Funny enough, since the two of you met. And each of you is presented with a book. And it is Love on Different Dimensions, Volume 1. And if you look through the book, it is like everything Sonia has been researching and learned in relation to how she originally pushed the two of you to go together, and just all the wonderful things. And then afterwards, Sonia's like, also bear in mind, and points to the front again, Volume 1. Also, as an extra gift, these are like the first prints. You guys get like 50% of any profits.
He was just looking at you like you're crazy.
Yes.
I mean, she is.
Bethany will go,
You know
Oh.
this.
very sweet. She'll take it.
Very sweet? Question mark.
That is how she phrases it, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. See, I knew you were writing a book. I didn't know I was the subject.
Oh, that's such an old one, because it literally was just a Sonia of like, yeah, I should try and get those two to get together, and then let's just write about that. And that was like way back when. And now you're in a book that's being published to the entire galaxy, universe, whatever the fuck we live in.
Universe.
But yeah,
It's rapidly becoming a galaxy, and then a planet, and then nothing.
if you will hug each and every one of you and
Big
be
hug.
very thankful.
I think that's a good place to call it. We can finish off like what you guys do with all of these NPCs and who you talk to and stuff next time.
Yeah.
And
One final joke as the hug's happening. Sonia's like, I saw a fireball. Do you want me to sign the books?
the other Sonias will like be like, "Oh, don't worry, we already signed them."
Oh, okay. So apparently, God Sonia is less conceited than the others.
Yeah, because you have more of a perspective, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. And now because of that, that's apparently canon. Also, the other two Sonias might be pregnant. Don't worry about that. What a happy ending. Technically, nothing bad happened.
Nothing went wrong at all. See, it was a great time. It was the wonderful red wedding.
Yeah, and no one here besides us knows what could, should, maybe happened.
According to Sonia, you're all dead. Even Sonia's dead, which is very concerning.
I think the most important thing that we note is that, despite us working together, the government was very happy to let us be, like, just what's the word?
Together?
No,
Something has helped you
Alive?
and has been in your corner.
opposite Lawrence. Collateral.
Dead?
That's it. Collateral. Like, despite the fact that we're supposed to be like super allies, they did not give a shit that we were collateral damage for them coming and destroying everyone to beat the dragon or try.
To be fair, in the other half of the timelines, they didn't really try to like stop the wedding.
Oh yeah,
Occasionally,
it was more of a like, well, now we know that they could and are potentially willing.
occasionally they sent someone round to be like, "Can the time dragon please step out?"
Could you please step outside?
And occasionally it was like, that in a lot of occasions the government didn't do anything. It's just some of the time they took the opportunity to like try and kill that dragon and save the universe from their perspective.
Yeah. Well, yeah, as you said, Joseph, episode 111, The Red Wedding, was a lot better than many other Red Weddings.
Yeah, it went great. It was a great time.
Enjoy your
Yeah, no one
book.
died for a start.
Every... oh, yeah, it just went well. Is this what joy feels like?
Yeah, looks at the ceiling.
This
What
this
you do?
sounds like a new feeling for you, Joseph, where you're like, at a session and no one died? What the fuck?
Oh, I'm sure it's happened at least once before now.
Nah,
Hmm.
impossible.
It's a session where I finally gave the players like basically everything they could have wanted from this event.
And
Which
then that means that next week, tits up everywhere.
Possibly.